This virus has stolen so much, and many who've lost loved ones haven't even been able to say goodbye. 8 News Now reporter Madison Kimbrough spoke to a psychologist and a man who lost his mother to the coronavirus. She joins us live in the studio now with more. Madison.
Yes, while our emotions are not something we often publicly discuss, during time of isolation due to the COVID-19 pandemic, it's important we find a way to cope.
I've seen people continue to use drugs even more than they did before, feel isolated. I see people losing family members and friends. And the grief part that you mentioned is about a loss of how life used to be.
A reality for many this past year as COVID-19 has taken over our lives, whether you know someone that has had it or you've experienced it yourself. The lack of normalcy we have endured for the past 10 months would make anyone feel out of control. Dr. Solomon says lately the amount of drug use she has seen at her recovery center has been extremely high.
A lot of people coming to me because they have substance abuse issues. That has gotten so out of hand because they're just home all the time, and so there's no real delineation between work time and home time.
Patrick Casal, a health insurance broker in Las Vegas, recently just lost his mother to the deadly virus. He says the hardest part was not being able to be with her when she took her last breath.
It's the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my life, not to say goodbye to my mother and hold her and tell her I love her. I can't believe how many people I actually know that either had COVID or passed away from COVID.
Dr. Solomon says normalcy and connectiveness is key when coping with this kind of grief.
Whatever makes you feel normal. So trying to figure out how you can do certain activities, whether they're exercise, connecting with friends over Zoom, over FaceTime, however you can feel connected to family and friends is so important right now.
As for Casal, in March he plans on having a ceremony in his mother's honor and plans to spread her ashes in her home state of New York. Now, if you or you know someone currently having a hard time adjusting to the changes brought on by the pandemic, you're not alone, and there are resources to help. The National Suicide Prevention Line is up on your screen. Reporting in studio, Madison Kimbrough, 8 News Now.